Hi there, my name is Wheeler Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. So I've been meaning to make a video about this for a long time. It's the comparison to Lungbarrow to the Timeless Children. Which is a terrible comparison to make. So the reason I've been meaning to make this video is I keep seeing every now and again on Facebook, on Twitter, somebody said, well, if you don't like the revelations of the Timeless Children, if you don't like that, how are you okay with the revelation of Lungbarrow? Didn't hear your complaints beforehand? Bigot. I'm embellishing, but that's really what. Actually, it's not really. It's not really an embellishment. It's kind of what the supporters are like of this episode and this era in general. So listen. Firstly, the reason they're acting up, and the reason they're acting up is because they're very scared. They're scared because there is no way they can pretend this era of Doctor Who is in any way popular with anyone other than them. It's crashed in the ratings. Its trajectory has been down and down, and it hasn't stopped crashing in the ratings. Normally at a season finale, especially a very, very, very well promoted season finale that promised to change everything, be a pivotal episode. Season finales normally see an increase in ratings, not a decrease in ratings. That's a really bad sign. But even worse sign is it decreased in ratings at a greater rate. It wasn't like it decreased in ratings at a lesser rate. It like started to level out. No, it increased in its death dive. And there's no indication that it's reached the bottom of the rate. So firstly, they're really scared because you had that high initial rating for The Woman Fell to Earth, and then it took quite some time for people to get their heads around just how much they didn't like this era of Doctor Who. Just for it to get that bad reputation, it took a good, I would say, 2 years to get that bad reputation in the British public viewing mind that saying we just don't want to watch this show, and so the people who supported this era. They lived in a delusion that this was really, really, really popular. Yes, everybody loves it. Oh, they love all this like political messaging, which they pretend isn't there. So they had that taken away from them. They had that taken away. But they at least they said, well, at least the real fans still like Joe. And before Timeless Children, Essential Cybermen, I would say the breakdown was probably 20% are like me who absolutely loathed it. I'm being really generous with that as well. 20% absolutely loathed it. Half of that amount, 10%, absolutely loved it. And everybody in the middle was like, it's not great, but fine, shut up. Forget it. So after Timeless Children, because it does severely blow up Doctor Who continuity and does it for the worst, very obviously for the worst reasons possible, because it destroys Doctor Who continuity. I would say that middle 70%, at least half of them are anti, and probably more. I would say 2/3. Again, not non-scientific and just from the chatter on social media, but they do bring out this argument. They wheel out this book, Lungbarrow, as a comparison. Great book. You can find it online, I think. I will try and find it. I'll try and find the link for the digital version of it, so and put it in the video notes. Also in the video notes is instructions on how you can win Doctor Who DVDs. I'm giving away 2 this week. This week it's Black Orchid. I thought, 2 episodes, it's really not enough. So, going on with Black Orchid, you get 4 to Doomsday, the first story. Peter Davison filmed as the Doctor. It's a very smart strategy, that. Well done, John Nathan Turner. So all you need to do to win is subscribe to the channel. And listen, I'm going to go one step further. Even if you don't want it, you really don't want it, can I ask you, can you hit that subscribe button? You know what you're going to get if you hit that subscribe button? You're going to get a happy rabbi. So, it's not often you get an opportunity to make a rabbi happy. Today's the day. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. All of these are fan-dabby double dozy. Thank you very much. I am really genuinely appreciative. And I feel bad that only one person wins these DVDs each week. By the way, I finally packaged them all up. They're ready. Everybody who won one, I really hope they're going to go out in next week. All depends when the post office is open and allow my wife allowing somebody to go there, wearing a hazmat suit to mail these things out. But that's what it's all dependent on. I really haven't go. So again, everyone's been waiting. I really apologise. I really genuinely apologise. Maxo Marks, you've been waiting the absolute longest. I'm so sorry. But it's on its way. It's packaged up. We're one step closer. Fine. So, yes, I forgot to say. So, there is a Doctor Who audio adventure also in the video notes for everybody to download. Again, it's just a expression of my gratitude for you coming by the video. You're hanging out, you're watching it, and you're not throwing Rotten Tomatoes. Well, you can throw Rotten Tomatoes at me, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't hit me. This is a screen, okay? You're not going to hit me by doing that, but fine, no problem. Thank you for coming by. Anyway, I would want to show you a token of my appreciation, which is actually very, very genuine. So fine, the argument is made that Lungbarrow is no different from the time of. Well, one difference is Lungbarrow never really happened. So what is Lungbarrow? Lungbarrow is the culmination of the Cartmelian master plan. Andrew Cartmel was a new script editor brought on in season 24, and immediately the show started to improve, like really immediately. But it wasn't until season 25 when it really started to turn around. He described it as like a giant oil tanker that takes like a lot of time to turn around. So season 25, you really see where he wanted to go with it. In 26, go buy the Blu-rays. They're really freaking good. But yeah, that's when we started intimating, oh, Doctor, you're so much more than a Time Lord, which is again pretty much what the Timeless Children was doing. So that is undeniably a similarity between the two. So what happened in Lungbarrow? If you haven't seen, spoiler alert for something that happened more than 30 years ago and has now been retconned out of existence. Well, spoiler alert anyway, because it's very, very good. So the idea is that that Time Lords cannot reproduce naturally. They can't reproduce, in the fun way. When I say fun, the first, I will say 5 to 10 minutes, really super fun, okay? That's really fun. 9 months later, not quite as much fun. It's rewarding, but not quite as much fun. So I'll still go that first 5 to 10 minutes is so incredibly fun. It's so incredibly fun. I'm going to keep calling it the fun way. Fine. So they can't reproduce the fun way, and they have these thing called looms. There are these ancient houses of Gallifrey, and each house has a loom, and the loom. I think there's something like you can make 12 members of the household. I really can't remember, but it was really quite cool. And these looms, like they make Time Lords. Lungbarrow is the Doctor's ancestral home, and he goes home to it. This was actually going to be, was it Ghostlight, the story Ghostlight, but they figured they gave away too much of the master plan too quickly, which I think they're right. But Big Finish, this one is right for adaptation. If you're going to do more Virgin adaptation, I would say do this one and the McGann one, the Dying Days, which was just really, really fun. It was a totally different tone. It's good Ice Warrior story. Anyway, so yeah, Big Finish, you want to do more adaptation, I would recommend these two because they're really, really good, especially this one. So he goes to his ancestral home, and the revelations are that there was a third member of Time Lord Society, that created Time Lord Society. Again, very similar to the Timeless Children, sort of. You had Rassilon, you had Omega, and you had this mysterious new figure called the Other. And the Other was scrubbed away. His name was scrubbed away from all time for some unspeakable crimes that he did. Some revolution that he tried, a failed revolution against Omega and Rassilon, I believe. Again, I have to reread it. It's been a long time. So it is intimated that he did. Oh, the Other. He created the Hand of Omega, who was kind of like a loyal pet of his, and he wasn't very happy about he wasn't really happy about the way things came out. So he committed suicide. He committed suicide by throwing himself into this big constant laser beam thing. As I recall, and being like shattered away. But there was one theory that that was him entering into the source code of Time Lords. And at some point in the future, a loom would make a reincarnation, not a regeneration, but a reincarnation of the Other. And it's intimated that the Doctor is that reincarnation. He was loomed with a belly button, which made him very, very different from other Time Lords, because they don't grow in a woman's tummy. They don't need an umbilical. But he was born with a belly button, and he got the nickname Wormhole. So again, the proponents of the Jodie Whittaker era, they very much they grab onto it and say, "Oh no, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Why are you upset? It must be because you're a bigot." No, no. It's because we haven't had a major head injury, and we that makes us overlook the insane problems with the Timeless Children. So one thing that Lungbarrow doesn't do is not filled with insanely huge plot holes. Plot holes, within of itself. Timeless Children, I'm afraid, there's so much bizarre stupidity in it. I mean, firstly, let's just bring this up. It showed the destruction of the human race at the hands of the Cybermen. They weren't saved by the Doctor. The Doctor actually increased their destruction. Secondly, they're all trying to get to this mythical barrier at the end of the universe, which turns out, ta-da, to be a portal to Gallifrey. That's never explained, and it can never explain. Just stupid without an explanation. Like, how do they think that is? And again, was all humanity destroyed? It kind of seems to be, yes. So you had that. You had the cyber. What was it? The cyber zealot, the last Cyberman, the lone Cyberman, which was, I think, a good idea. And listen, I really try and give credit where credit is due. I really genuinely do. That Cyberman redesign, freaking marvelous. I think they were excellent. The lone Cyberman could have been really good. But they just pooped the bed on it. They didn't explain where he came from at all, what he was, or what his motivation was, what made him do what he was doing. So there was just these, again, massive plot holes. But but then it also injected massive plot holes into the entirety of Doctor Who. How many times did he say he's that he has 12 incarnations? It was very, very clearly stated that with the whole Clara arc, the Impossible Girl, that she went through the entirety of the Doctor's timeline. We saw the Doctor's timeline, which there was no sign of these gazillion regenerations beforehand. So again, and there are many, many examples of saying William Hartnell was the first Doctor. So you might say, well, she didn't know about the previous Doctors. That opens just even more plot holes. How did the Roof Doctor have a police box, a police box TARDIS? That doesn't seem to make any sense. Like, why again? If the whole thing was erased, which they seem to say it was, again, why would what's going on with that? It removes all stakes from the Doctor, because the Doctor can't be killed at this point. The Doctor is an immortal, godlike figure, which makes it for a really, really boring, really boring story. So Lungbarrow doesn't do any of these things at all. It doesn't blow up the entire of the Doctor. But the thing I've said this in many videos. I'm saying it again. The thing that is so objectionable about the Timeless Children, so incredibly objectionable, is it's a expression of Trish Chibnall's, I think, bigoted and racist worldview and agenda. While he's trying to be an anti-racist, he became a racist because he's not very clever. I think that's why he portrays his Doctor to be an utter idiot, because they're just not very clever. They haven't really thought these things through. That's the other thing. This wasn't out of character for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but it was out of character for the Doctor. For the Doctor to be both a coward and an idiot. The Doctor to accept all this positive praise and affirmation from her fans. Like, oh, you're the best Doctor. Oh, and she's going off to sacrifice herself. And then she finds somebody else who'll do it. And then, okay, you can go. And she nicks the TARDIS and then go. What? It's just... It was so at odds with who the Doctor is. Not at odds with who Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is, who couldn't give reassuring words to somebody who's supposed to be a very close friend of hers, who was scared of his cancer coming back. No, couldn't do that. God, I wrestle in my mind to think what was more damaging for Doctor Who. I really wrestle, oh, that was terrible. This is even. No, I think maybe the Timeless Children is worse. And again, it was the reasons behind it are just so vile. That Chris Chibnall felt, and BBC feels that having the Doctor portrayed by a white male since 1963 is a bit problematic. Problematic. God, so stupid! It makes my head hurt. It's just such an utter lack of understanding of recent history, of recent cultural history, which is so accessible to you. It's just. It's so stupid. It's so unbearably stupid. But there, that's clearly his motivation. Do not tell me they had colourblind casting with the Ruth Doctor. Do not tell me that she wasn't written to be a dark-skinned woman. Clear. Do not tell me that the timeless children, that regenerated over and over again, they just have to come out. Oh, look, it's the United Colours of Benetton. Oh, it just has how. No, don't shut up. You know it wasn't. I know it wasn't, and that's why. If you're a proponent of this theory, you go, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so progressive. Oh, yes, please more progressive. Yeah, that's why. So, this is just some of the difference between Lungbarrow and the Time. Lungbarrow is a consistent story which is not full of plot holes and doesn't fill the entirety of Doctor Who with plot holes. The Timeless Children is a story full of plot holes that creates plot holes for the entirety of Doctor Who. Again, Clara. Clara saw the entirety of the Doctor's timeline. No mention of this. And then why are we saying this new member of Timeless Society that we never heard before? Why are we never heard of? Why have we never heard of Tecton? And again, don't tell me it was colourblind casting that made her female. No, it was specifically following Chibnall's racist, stupid agenda that made her female. But why was she forgotten? Why has she never been mentioned before? Is that because the patriarchy kept her? And then we had her be a villain. We had essentially she killed her child, who she raised and loved, apparently, and then killed her over and over and over again. None of this stuff was done in Lungbarrow. None of this objectionable stuff was done in Lungbarrow. And again, what was with Brendan? Can we give any explanation on what they were doing with Brendan? I genuinely believe the main thrust of the Brendan storyline was that people would think this is Call the Midwife when they was channel surfing, and they would just stick with it in a desperate and pathetic attempt to get their viewing figures up. So anyway, just a few major differences between Lungbarrow and Timeless Children. Lungbarrow, again, no massive plot holes and doesn't create plot holes through the entire Doctor Who. Wasn't done as enactment of a bigoted and racist agenda, whereas Timeless Children was all of the above. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and have yourself a fantastic day.